thing I'm going to say about the building, even the late Billy Graham, who just passed away, right, never owned a church. Think about that, okay? Wow. He's been in ministry over 50 plus years, and he never owned a church.
Wow.
He went and he evangelized, and that was his gift.
Yeah, that was his gift.
That was his gift, right?
His gift,
right? And you imagine how many people he has touched. Because, I've been seeing him since I was, way small, okay?
Yeah.
So and he's been preaching for a very long time, and God bless him. He's in heaven, and he's getting his glory right now. But I would tell you that, if you had to really think about his ministry and how many people he touched and not own a building.
Absolutely.
Right? But still fed, gave water, did a whole lot of stuff.
That's ministry.
That's really, ministry. Truly ministry.
Yeah, ministry. He abided in his calling as an evangelist. Going out and like Josh was saying, small churches can get together. Because again, like I say, man, and especially in certain regions and areas, going before, like I say, your civic people, if needs be, those areas, if they see more coming together, just again, like I said on Thursday night, it's just the fellowship, us pastors putting it on, but it's not about us.
Right.
Like I said, I've been trying to get Dr. Bryant here, but in God's timing.
Right.
It wasn't time for him to come at that time, so now it's time for him to come on this Thursday night to again deal with what we're dealing with in society, and somebody who's on the forefront. We can talk about it from what we see, but he's there in the trenches. So he can bring the perspective of being there, talking to leaders, but yet also being a pastor, to bring the word in with it. And that's why, again, we're inviting all pastors, maybe after service for a few moments, we'll be able to talk with them, not keep them tied up too long because he's got to be up and be on a 5 o'clock flight the next morning, trying to go do other ministry. So, but this is an opportunity for us that, we may not can get to D.C., we may not can get to Austin to the governor's office, but we have somebody coming on Thursday night who has direct access, that we can hear from, that we can share. And again, like I say, Tommy Calvert coming, can share about things that, for a couple of minutes, he's going to talk about things that, he's trying to do in the city. Barbara Gervin Hawkins, things she's trying to do. Kim Anderson talking about the gun violence piece. Things that maybe people will hear something and be like, wow.
This is good.
This is good.
Because like I said, when I started learning about this stuff, I'm like, wow, man. And it's like, okay, what can we do? Even like you say, on a small scale, just to say, let the city know, let your community know. We're not just a church that just comes here, y'all see cars here, and then we leave and y'all don't know nothing about us. One thing about Discover, Josh, and you probably have too, is that most people that live wherever your church is located, they're not coming to that church. They're going away from that church.
That's true.
Because a lot of them are in church at other places. So it's not like they don't know you're not there. Because I looked at that one day, I came out of church, and my neighbors across the street, they got some dogs, and I got my dog, and when we run each other, we always playing around. And so one Sunday, I've invited them to church plenty of times, but how many times can I invite people in that community to come to church? After a while, they're going to be like, Reverend, we know you're there.
Right.
So, but one Sunday, I caught them after church, and I'm like, where y'all come from? It's like, we come from church. We just got back from church. I'm like, oh. And, all this time, you wonder, do they go to church? Like, all this time, you finally, after all these years, they go to church somewhere.
Right.
So, again, now we have to go away from our church, into other communities. Again, not necessarily to get them to join Congress Assembly, but, hey, are you involved in church anywhere?
Right.
And I'll tell people, it's very simple. You go out to eat, you go to the store, you checking out a HEB or whatever, talking to the cash register. They friendly most of the time. They say, how you doing? You find everything you need? Yeah, hey, what, you go to anybody's church? No, I don't go to church. Never been invited. Boom, right there. You drop a word on them and get out the door.
Well,
you on your way to hell. How you know where they going? You might be on. Well, anyhow, we ain't gonna get that.
Don't beat them. Don't beat them.
They trying to beat nobody. Hey, come to my church. I'm gonna invite you. I remember one time, man, I came came in, and I'm done talking. Until after the next break, it's really good when we come back. But I came in from out of town one day, and I went to Avis to get a rent-a-car. And so I was talking to a young lady, and we were in there getting a rent-a-car. And I said, "What church you go to?" She said, "Well, I've been visiting. I just moved here, and I live way out on such and such time." I said, "Well, here." I said, "There's this church you ought to go to." I wrote the name of our church down. I said, "I know the pastor's a good guy. He's okay. You might enjoy the word." I wrote all in. I didn't tell him who I was. I just said, "Go check him out. Here's the service time I like him." And a few months later, she came to church. And I came in. I did my service, and when I started to preach, I kind of looked at her and kind of saw her eyes get big, because she didn't know that, because I didn't tell her I was a pastor. Right. I just said, "Go to church." So afterwards, I said, "I want to thank my visitor. I had to go rent a car." And I said, "I got you. You didn't know I was a pastor." But just real quick, and again, doing it in love to let people know, I'm not here to browbeat you. I got my own shortcomings.
Right.
I got my own faults and failures. I'm not here to judge nobody. But again, just the simple nugget that you can drop, when you go out to eat, you're talking to the person, break the ice, make them laugh. How's your day going? "I'm having a bad day and I'm about ready to quit." "Why are you ready to quit?" "Well, I got this going on." "Hey, look, can I just have a word of prayer with you? Do you go to church anywhere?" "No, I used to go, but church this and that." "Well, look, I invite you to go to here." Go there. Because again, if you never reach out, you can't have a bad attitude, as the believer.
Right.
Maybe they had a bad day and the table before them didn't do them right, so they had to get you. They mad about the table before them, and then, they say something to you, and then you go off, after church with your church hat on.
You know what? That's just like saying, look, sin just keep growing and growing until you come in and beat a block and say, hey, look, I got something for you. Here's something, fresh and be of good love and everything else, so people can get past that. You could be that light in that darkness. So
with a small, simple act, and Joshua touching on it. "By this shall all men know that you're my disciples, because you have love one to another." Yes. And that's one of the major issues that I believe personally, is some of the problem we have today in society is love. Is a lack of love in our homes, lack of love even in our churches. Right. Sometimes, I make people, go hug people. Stop sitting in the same seat every Sunday. Go try a different seat. It's just the same way.
Right. Yeah.
I know you're going to
receive the same word anyway.
You're going to receive the same word. It's going to be the same word, because you never know who just needs that hug.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. You hug somebody, and they fall out in your arms. That lets you know that something is going on.
Right. Right.
And so that's where we have to be the agents of change, by showing love to one another. And that's why when we wake up in the morning, Lord, keep me out the way. Whatever I had to deal with yesterday, thank you for letting me see another day. And, I don't want to get in the way of who you may have to come across my path to bless.
Wow.
So help me today, Lord.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Because again, you never know who God's going to send your way. And I use this illustration sometimes, and I'm done talking, and I'll let you listen
That's good.
after the next break. I use this illustration. I don't talk as much on Sunday. Saints looking at me like, well, come on, Louis, we want to beat the crowd.
They've been doing that. They've been doing that,
right? Come on, you just got here. But anyhow, I use this analogy. Sometimes you go to work, and you got this person, Josh is always coming to me every day. "What you doing for lunch, John? What you doing?" I'm like, "Man, God, this guy is always, And I'm like, "Josh, I'm busy today. I got to go do this." And so I keep putting it, if I'm not sensitive to the Lord,
yes,
he may be the one that God is sending my way, first of all, to test me,
right,
to see if I'm going to be sensitive to him.
Right.
But he may be the one that God is using me to minister to. But if I'm always, oh man, here comes Josh again. He always does that. But if I'm sensitive, like, you know what, Josh, come on, man, let's go hang out.
Right.
You never know. You never know what God
absolutely
is planning to do.
Right.
But sometimes we turn as the Bible says, we entertain angels unaware. Sometimes we could be missing out
Right.
Right.
on a blessing.
Right.
Yeah, God's trying to use us.
Yeah,
And we miss those moments.
We miss those
and
moments.
sometimes we have to look at it like this, like God told me, be a church, be a mobile church. Every single day. Sometimes we try to invite folks to come and get dressed up and meet us on Sunday morning, but some folks may not make it to Sunday.
No.
I mean, some folks, we just need a simple message of love and inspiration and, hey, I love you, you know what I'm saying? And God loves you too.
Amen, amen. Oh my goodness, you are tuned in to the Gospel Lounge with Minister Curtis.
Amen,
Josh
amen.
Hurt. I
to be
guess
here,
our
man.
new sidekick, Bishop Jonathan D. Ellis. He is bringing it on today, y'all. He's bringing it on today. And you can catch the Gospel Lounge every Saturday from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. Catch us on AM 630, The Word, that's KSLR. Catch us on iTunes, TuneIn Radio. Did I say iHeartRadio? KDMLradio.org. And there's many, many more. But y'all stay tuned. I am getting a word on today.
Y'all all over those places?
Yes.
I guess I better start listening to gospel some more. I'm missing out on some stuff. Y'all everywhere.
You know what?
I don't be listening to Ganaga.
You know what? We're going to have to touch and agree on Bishop Ellis. See, normally we have to touch and agree on Josh, but boy, Bishop Ellis.
Came with a word.
But y'all stay tuned. Keep it locked in. This is your girl, the Gospel Diva, KP on KDML Praise and Radio.